Da takiti jumta, ta jumta kiti tak dina din da takiti jumta, ta jumta kiti tak dina din da takiti jumta, ta jumta kiti tak dina din da takiti jumta, takiti tak da takiti jumta, ta jumta kiti tak dina din da takiti dina dina da takiti jumta, ta jumta kiti tak dina din dina da takiti jumta, ta jumta kiti tak dina da takiti jumta, ta jumta kiti tak dina da takiti jumta, ta jumta kiti tak da takiti da takiti da.
The many times I have looked at a Lord Krishna picture or read about him, I have always been amazed as to how he carries his ever-charming smile. No matter what happens in the external world, he keeps smiling. After a lot of reading, watching and understanding, I got to know that a very deep philosophy underlies this smile of his. The philosophy about the impermanence of situations and this world itself. He believes that this too shall pass. And this little thing is what inspires him to smile every day. Happiness is a state of mind that is independent of the external world. Lord Krishna has been imagined to be quoted saying this. He lived every moment in his life to the fullest and played a lot of characters, of that of a son, of a brother, a lover, a husband, a kingmaker, a father and a lot more. And his philosophies and teachings are numerous, probably impossible to convey in just one video. But still, I have tried to sum up some of his most important virtues herein. Firstly, he taught us the importance of music, as to how music enables us to rejuvenate and take temporary refuge from the reality, despite being extremely attached to levels of spirituality and pantheism. Which is why wherever Lord Krishna went, his flute always went with him. His aura resonated the powers of music wherever he set his foot on. Secondly, he taught us to live every moment to the fullest. When he was in Vrindavan, he being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was well aware that his glorious cowherd days wouldn't last for long. He knew that his playful and carefree days would one day come to an end when he would have to proceed with his duties as a ruler. But despite knowing this bitter truth, he never let this thought interfere with his present. And in the little time that he had as a cowherd, he tried to do everything. He danced, he sang, he stole butter, he loved, and he tried to instill in everybody around him as much love and passion that he could. He instilled in all a zest for life, the zeal to live to the fullest and at the moment. And with his littlest of gestures, he inspired everybody to break free from the apprehensions of what the tomorrow holds and experiencing what today has to offer. Krishna is called the butter thief, Makhan Chor, as well as the heart thief, Chit Chor. His theft creates delight, and this whole theme of divine theft draws our attention to human fears that makes us lock things up. Krishna forces us to open our hearts as well as our coffers as he steals butter and our hearts. The Maharas, or the grand dance night, was his way of appreciating everybody around him the way they were. This dance took place in the forest, a place of danger and insecurities. Then how does one establish security there? Lord Krishna's encounters with the milkmaids and the gopikas is representative as to how, when one feels safe enough and dependable enough to be vulnerable, that is when our hearts open up. And the Maharas is an icon of this. All the relationships that he nurtured were not based on blood relations, but rather on love. His foster parents were blessed to have him. His friends felt alive with him. And the woman that he loved the most doesn't become his wife, because their relationship was beyond the worldly boundaries of the culture. And with these acts, he taught us the importance of love, the immense power that love has to make this world into a more precious and humane place, the peace that love offers if recognized. He sacrifices his old days, his village, and his childhood to be able to embark on a journey that demanded his presence and proficiency. And with that little act, he teaches us to move beyond our comfort zones when it's necessary, to sometimes challenge our own selves so we can grow as individuals. Because rather than just going with life, it sometimes also becomes important to grow with life. He attaches a reason and meaning to every action and incident, telling us that everything happens for a reason in the end. And very subtly teaches us the difference between love and attachment. Attachment or moha holds us back, doesn't allow us to move ahead, while love is just another synonym for understanding and sometimes letting go, moving ahead but carrying those fond memories of those cherished moments in our hearts. An episode of his story illustrates his notorious act of stealing the clothes of the milkmaids or the gopis, something I have also illustrated in my dance. And this was a metaphoric representation of breaking the defenses that we have built up for our protection. Their clothes was a mark of concealment, a defense, or probably a mark of another's claim. But was Krishna a threat? Soon the gopis rise to catch him, aware yet unmindful of his gaze. For in the shimmering dark waters of the Yamuna, they see his lotus eyes that sought to appreciate them beyond the layers of their flesh and clothes, their breath, their heart. His gaze was an offering to those who were until now unseen. They were all vessels of love, of beauty and admiration. But who noticed this? This was a representation of noticing the unnoticed and exploring the untamed. He taught a lesson in love, in the act of giving, in friendships and in dignity. He is Krishna, the one whose philosophies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra have inspired many to live a healthier and happier life. Cows are a metaphor for senses. Just as how a cow grazes on grass, our senses graze on sensory stimuli, Indriya Gochara, and the one who overpowers his own senses is known as Goswami, just another name for Krishna. So let this tale remind us to always be appreciative and to appreciate people in the rawest and purest of their forms. Let this tale always inspire us to trace and hold to that one cause of any incident, to believe that it happened for a reason. Let this tale instill in us the faith that incentives to be happy and blissful resides within. Let this tale motivate us to move out of the usual. And lastly, and most importantly, let this tale shatter this block of safety that we have built around ourselves. Because what is the point of being emotionally safe and yet dying every moment by denying little things that bring joy to our hearts? Rather, let's live every moment to the fullest and maybe end up a little broken, because there is life ahead for sure. Hare Krishna.